Beautiful people, wherever you are, welcome back. It's underscore back again to the root of today. And here we are, we have much of the ladies and much of the people talking about. We have the girl child to this position. We want to make sure that they are receiving much of the sanitary towel. I want to talk about the parts here already. And we make sure that we're going to disperse them to the girl child today. And it's a session that we have planned and we have come up with it from a very far distance from Nyabuanse. And it's one of the platform had been arranged already, and it's just focused because of the rain due to unconditional circumstances where rain were coming at any time. So we are just a little bit relaxed and make sure that we are waiting for this calamity to peace so as we can just start up our session again. And I have one of the doctors onto this precision to make sure that he's going to be introducing himself onto the platform already.
Okay, I'm Ivan Shikuku.
Hervans Shikuku.
Yeah, nurse by profession.
Nurse by profession.
Working at Nyabuanze Medical Center.
Nyabuanze Medical Center.
Yeah.
And now I have this kind of the girls. You have just checked them here. You know the size. You have just checked high school and primary and senior. Yeah. And I think they have come to that position of aura. They have that stage of now receiving the sanitary pads. You know that stage which it can just take. And I want you to have them there. Make sure that you are teaching them 2-3 things for like 20 minutes only. Then you can just disperse much over the sanitary parts. Talk about the STIs, STDs, and protections, everything like that. And also ABC, you know about that ones. And make sure that they're going to be getting much of the things to make sure that they're going to be getting a little of a hint or just like a lecture, you know. And to this position, I have her here. I'm going to be talking about she was part of the program to make sure that she has arranged much of the people who could come and make sure that she was the awareness to this village, and everything has become very fantastic for the group. You are just checking in front of us and to this position. Without matching of talking much, let's have much of the action coming close to this position. And hello. Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Mko poa? Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir.
Yes.
Was sir recommendable there?
Yes.
Or it can be there?
It can
It
be.
can be there. The sir
Yes.
can be there?
Yes.
Okay, I enjoy our very. No problem. So we are going to receive the sanitary pads, and we have them here already. And I'm just the project manager, and we have do you know this guy? Do you know her? Who knows the name? What's the name of her? Anastasia. So you can just feel welcome. Welcome us onto this position.
My guys, hello. So hello guys. Here is Nyabuanse. Again, we are here in another village, just providing sanitary towels. I think my girls are happy.
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And now we're going to be having this session with the doctor to make sure that we are keeping time. It's already late in the evening. And I think it's around approaching some 15 or no, 17 hours. And we're going to be making sure that we are coming out more properly and we address them so as we can just disperse much of the sanitary pads to them, and everyone should disperse to their homes with an immediate effect after dispersing. But we're going to be having more chit chat. So after the talk about our nurse has talked much about how things are going to be, and I don't know how we're going to be discussing them. We're going to be asking questions, so feel free to ask any question that you might be having so as you can be answered with an immediate effect. Fantastic. Welcome. Oh, we have the mother over here. For us not to go further fast, we have welcome. Hello.
Hi.
How are you? Hey, you look like me. How is everything? What's your name?
My name is Mary Boke Kasera.
Hey, Boke Kasera. Which position are you in this village?
I'm a mother.
You're a mother.
Yes.
And at large, the husband is who?
The husband is an elder village.
Elder village. Exactly. That's why we have make sure that this concert is coming out from this position, because we are at a safer place, at a government place. And I think if you are a representative of the government, even your home is a government at all. So have you welcomed us or we leave?
No. I have welcomed you.
You have welcomed us. Fantastic. Clap your hands. Fantastic. We are welcome. We are welcome, Dean. Fantastic. So the doctor, you can just take over the responsibility, and the session is yours.
Okay, thank you very much.
Gotcha.
Once again, I just have to say thank you for the warm welcome for this session.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are doing great.
Exactly.
Menstrual sanitary, menstrual awareness is a world class day. For example, just to talk a little bit, small history about menstrual. We usually celebrate the menstrual cycle day. There's anyone who knows the menstrual cycle day? When are we celebrating the day? So just to be brief on that, we usually celebrate that it is a world day, just like any other day, just like Christmas Day. There is a special day that we usually celebrate, and that is on 28th May. So on 28th May, we create awareness. But on this session like this, we usually create awareness because that's the menstrual cycle is day-to-day thing, most especially for reproductive ladies. I'm going to talk about the importance of these sanitary pads. We are distributing them today, and I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about the menstrual at large and also the importance of using the pads. As we usually know that when a girl reaches for a period of that 13 to about 16 years, these girls start experiencing that menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle is that period when a girl experiences the menses, the flow of blood during maybe it's a bit long process. So do you have any person who understands about the menstrual cycle? For example, who can just give us a divination of it? So, because you have to understand it, menstrual cycle, this is a period whereby we have the implantation, the implantation of the endometrium. We have the uterus. So when the uterus inflames, when it inflames, so when fertilization doesn't take place, we have the wall, the outermost wall of the nini being swept away. And when it's being swept away, you experience blood. The first menses that a girl experiences, we call them menarche. So when you start experiencing the first one, we call them a menarche. And how important are these? The importance of menstrual cycle, it determines the your reproductive health. That's one thing. And how can we prevent, or how can we, because during that period of menstruation, you can be at risk of infection. So, and when you are at risk, that's why we are here with these sanitary pads. The importance of these sanitary pads, it increases the self-esteem. For example, when you don't use it, and for example you are walking, all of a sudden you see blood, it really lowers your self-esteem. So once you use this, it improves the self-esteem. You are able to do anything. You can even able to run, walk, dance, and you are very comfortable. Another thing, it also makes you comfortable. Apart from giving you self-esteem, you are very comfortable. So maybe you have someone who is using them, you are just comfortable and no one can know that you are using them. Another thing is it improves the hygiene. So hygiene, when it improves the hygiene, it makes sure that you are not at risk of infection. We have so many importance of using these sanitary pads. And we also have among the things that can improve during that period of menstrual period. What are we supposed to do during that period? One thing that we are supposed to do is to maintain hygiene. How can we maintain hygiene? Make sure that you use water, plain water, because I'm a doctor, so in our profession, we just call a spade a spade. We don't hit around. So when you use plain water when washing the vagina, so make sure you use plain water. Don't use soap. Don't use anything else. We have this practice that you have to do. So you start by the front to back, not the other way round. Don't use from the back to front. Why are we doing so? This, when you use from the back to front, you can introduce other microorganisms because you know the anus and the vagina are adjacent. So when you use from back to it can also introduce it can introduce infection. Another thing that we are supposed to do is drink a lot of water. So when you drink a lot of water, it releases most of the waste products in the body. So during that period, those are among the things we have to do.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And when I drink hot tea, milk,
Milk,
hot tea.
no problem. But what we are advised and what we are so concerned here, it's a lot of water during that period. So milk is another thing because we don't know the class, the economic class that you are. Not everyone can afford milk. So the most easiest thing that you can have is water. Yeah. So that's one thing. So you drink a lot of water. Next thing you use lightweight or bricklet clothes. What do I mean by this? By using cotton. Don't use nylon. Because when you use nylon panties, innerwears, they can absorb a lot of heat. So when they absorb a lot of heat, they can make that, they can increase the chances of infection. So make sure you use cotton. Another thing that we have to, you have to observe, who can remind me of any other thing that we have to do? My class is so dumb, man.
After how many hours should I stay with the pad?
Okay, it's that's now the importance. So, okay, we don't have a duration, exact duration of how long, because during the menstrual cycle, people are different because it is hormonal. You may find that with me, I use the flow of blood is not much. I just spot, clear, and when I spot, so not less than 6 hours, not more than 6 hours.
Okay.
So make sure you don't stay with hard more than 6 hours. But if you are those healthy people that you have a lot of blood, so you experience a lot, make sure when the pad is soft, you have to change it. And that comes to our point, you have to change the pad regularly. So make sure when it is soft or partially soft, you have to change it. And when you change, you must experience that hygiene. You have to wash hands. After washing hands, you have to change it. And after you have changed it, you have to dispose it off. So don't just throw it anywhere. So those are some healthy practices that you have to do during that period of menstruation. Another thing that is so common, monitoring of your menstrual period is very important. When you monitor, for example, irregular menses, when you have those irregular menses, it is a risk that you can be predisposed to diseases like celiac diseases like diabetes. So when you monitor it and you notice that you have irregular periods, you have to check medical advice. So make sure you come to the hospital so that you can be checked. Because when you have irregular menses, in most cases, this menstrual period comes after 28 days. So every 28 days, you have to experience it. That's a span of months, and you have to monitor it. So make sure you have a calendar, or if you don't have a calendar, we have a menstrual app. So this app can assist you to know these are my dates and these are not my dates. Another thing that is so common with menstrual period also is a way of you determining whether you can get pregnant or what or not. So it guides. Correct? Another question?
Why are you looking at me? Just ask.
Any other question?
Okay, let me ask for them. You know, some of us, when we do use these sanitary towels, we get some itching. When we sit with 2 to 3 hours, we feel some itching. What is the best way?
Okay, and that's why we come back to our point. The first point that I said, when the use of innerwear. Yeah. So when you find that you are using nylon innerwear, this nylon innerwear cannot emit, they cannot promote the circulation of air. And in most cases, that itching comes in case there's high temperatures there. So when there's high temperature, you find infection of fungal infection can be there. So you find you're being itched. Another thing, you can change. Okay, you can use, but you don't maintain hygiene. So make sure, for example, you've just changed your pad. You don't take a shower, you don't wash, you don't clean, and you change another one. So those among the practices that can lead to that itching. So make sure you maintain good hygiene. When you maintain good hygiene, consider the type of innerwear. Not only the type of innerwear, but the hygiene is most important. Yes.
And where sometimes maybe you are not even receiving the period,
Yes.
but somebody can come and tell you that he has that issue.
Okay.
What brings
Okay. It's a very good question, and we will be there. So for now, for when you are not experiencing and you experience itching, that's another point that we are going to talk about, the STIs, the UTI, the STIs, and those other infections. Yeah, we will going to talk about that. So on the area of menstruation, any problem or any other, anyone who wants to know more about menstruation before we move to another topic, so you all understand. So another thing that we are going to talk about today is sexual transmitted diseases, urinary tract infections. How can we prevent this, and how can we stay healthy? Right? So sexual transmitted disease, these are acquired diseases through sexual intercourse. These are acquired diseases through sexual intercourse. So among those diseases we have the gonorrhea. Another one, we have syphilis. Any other one? HIV. Any other one? Chancroid. Very good one. Any other one? For ladies, we have chlamydia, we have vaginitis, we have sapicitis. We have a lot of diseases that can be caused by sex. So how are we going to prevent or management of these sexual transmitted diseases? Or some of the signs, for example, some of the signs of sexual transmitted diseases. For example, syphilis and chancroid, they tend to be same. Syphilis and chancroid. We have this, you can have a chancre. A chancre is an ulcer. An ulcer is a wound on your sexual area, for example, the penis or the vagina. Same applies to syphilis. You can also have a chancre. Another signs and symptoms of these sexual and transmitted diseases, you will experience discharge. This discharge can be fully smelly, and this discharge ranges from colors. We have whitish discharge, we have reddish, we have so many colors. So when you experience that, then note that this one is sexual transmitted disease. Another thing is these diseases are acquired by sex. You only acquire these diseases through sex. And another big one that we fail to mention is HIV. Yeah, another big one is HIV. So we acquire these diseases through sexual intercourse. We have this management of these diseases. The earlier, the better. For in case of syphilis, the earlier the better. When you get those other diseases, we have the chancroid, the gonorrhea, the syphilis. We have treatment of them. We can cure it. But for our big animal here, the HIV, we don't have cure, but we can manage at the process. We lower. We have those drugs that are being given so that they suppress the viral load in the body. For the case of syphilis, the earlier the better, as I say. So when you visit the healthcare provider the early, the best, you get the treatment. We have the syndromic management, which is so much detailed. When you come there, you manage it. And also, these diseases, since they are acquired through sex, we can prevent them. How can we prevent them? How can we prevent sexual transmitted diseases? First one, we have the ABC. Abstinence. You abstain. Abstaining means you don't engage in sex till the right time. We don't know how right time is, but till the right time that you will find this is your suitable suit. When you have that suitable suit, you go back to the hospital, you get tested, you make sure you are safe, then you start practicing the act. That's the first thing. The next thing is condom use. Make sure if you don't want to abstain, then condomize. Another thing is treatment. So make sure when you get diagnosed, make sure you are treated, because when you treat, you prevent the risk of transmitted to other persons. So you will cure. And when you I'm being treated, so I'm not able to transmit it to any other person. We have a certain condition that our able mother raised here, that you find that you are not on your menses, but you experience itching. That's a condition maybe sometimes sexual transmitted infection, but in some cases you find for the ladies is a condition we call UTI, urinary tract infection. This condition is usually caused by when you don't maintain hygiene, you have multiple sexual partners. Today you are here, tomorrow you are here, next day you are there. So when you increase that number, those people who meet with child, they put their things which can cause harm to your health. So that's one thing, and you will experience itching each and every day. But we have treatment of it. Yeah, you visit the hospital and get treatment. I think you're listening.
In the same question, how is it being transmitted?
How is it being transmitted? Okay. For example, the hygiene. For the ladies, I said you use the cotton. When you wash your clothes, your innerwear, the way you keep them for drying. So you have to hang your innerwear in a place that there is circulation of air so that they can dry well. Yeah, that's one thing. Next thing is maintaining hygiene. So make sure you wash. Every time you go to the washroom, you wash from the front to back, not from back to front. Another cause of that infection is what we call oral sex. When you practice oral sex, the microorganism that causes the UTI or the urinary tract infection, we call it candida. It's usually found in the mouth. So in the mouth, it's dormant. It's a bacteria that helps digestion, that helps any other thing. But when that bacteria from the mouth is being inserted in the vagina, it will cause that urinary tract infection. So you have to avoid the oral sex. Yeah. Your question is answered. So you will maintain when you wash your innerwear. Make sure you hang in a place that it allows the circulation of air. You use the cotton innerwear. Don't, in most cases, don't use the nylon, because when you use the nylon, they increase the moist. When the moist is there, they attract the microorganisms. Clear? Another thing is we are in this category that we are here. I see most of you are in that tender age. So when you are tender age, what are you supposed to do? Because you are at risk of these STIs, you are at risk of pregnancy, and you are at risk of even dropping out of school. So what are we supposed to do? We say the first thing, we have to abstain. When we abstain, we are not at risk of getting sexual transmitted diseases, and we are not at risk of even getting pregnant. Everyone here has dreams, and you will only fulfill that dreams when you are not interfered. But when you are going to be interfered, then you will not reach the place that you want to be. Another thing, you have to abstain from sex. Absolutely abstain. This is so necessary. Because when you get pregnant, you will drop out of school. When you drop out of school, you increase. You will now be balkanized. You have to take care of your child, and you yourself may be your child. So those are the things that we have to avoid and make sure that we accomplish the dreams. On that area, anyone with a question, or the director, any place that I've not touched, you want me to exhaust them?
So you have talked about the best thing to do in ABC is abstaining. For like now I think that students are mostly so the best thing they have to know is abstaining is the best.
Yeah.
So with our sanitary parts here, do you think there's the best quality we have?
Of course, these are the best qualities, the best qualities that we have. But it goes with the preference of someone else. But to the market brand, these are the best qualities that we can use, and make sure that during that menstrual period, we avoid uncomfortable and unnecessary lowering of self-esteem.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Any other thing?
So for most of maybe most of the people here are talking about why is this platform coming into this position? We have been looking, I've ever done some videos with some of the girls, and much of the girls who are talking about what is causing them not to or going for such kind of maybe dropping out of school, maybe early pregnancies, maybe come and stay marriages, you know. It's much of maybe poverty at their homes, and it increases the ability of them going out to look for maybe a boy who might be having money, so they can be lured with money and get maybe talk about maybe they cannot speak to the mother, maybe some of them, maybe we can talk about their single parents, maybe some of them are orphans, they don't have somebody to ask, or maybe you have a single parent who is a father, you cannot go and ask with the father that please can I get this, because of some fathers are not responsible, you know. So to them, what kind of an urge can you give?
Thank you very much. And that's why in most cases we had challenges on the distribution of these parts. In most challenges that we had, maybe a girl doesn't have money to raise the money to buy these pads. And that's why I think even in the world, they tried to create a certain date so that we can celebrate. And during that day, we create awareness. And during that awareness creation, we participate all. For the part of dropping out of school, in most cases, we've said that in menstrual cycle, when we monitor, because during this period is when you will realize that you are fertile or not fertile. And when you monitor your menses well, we have high chances of you preventing such an early pregnancy, because you only know that you are fertile when you experience your periods.
Fantastic. So I think you have got something here. You have got something.
Yes.
So was it a boring session or it's gonna be very fantastic? Or fantastic or fantabulous? Exactly. Thank you very much, Mr. Shikuku,
Yes, thank
for
you.
your time. Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Kakamega.
Kakamega. And I think it's going to be a very good session with you here, and we have enjoyed it. For your little time, you have just spoke much of the things. You have even talked about the biology. I've now started recalling, my friend. Several years ago, I was in high school, you know. So outside there, we are trying to make sure that everything is coming to the table. So we have to make sure that the biology sometimes has to sit aside and things are going to be working. So I think we have got something good into that session, and we're going to be introducing, we have much of the people here, a little bit of, again, a lady who can just maybe talk 2-3 things. Okay. Have you got something? We can just talk about something, no problem.
No, you should welcome Maria Kidi and it's
Yeah, you are here, you are listening, maybe you have got something. They're going to be finishing.
Let's tell us something.
Pasi, can you talk about something?
Okay.
Yeah, welcome, come.
How are you doing, girls or girls? Are you fine? Are you okay? Okay. For me, guys, what I can advise already here in the village is the to get the advice from our doctor, which our doctor has teach you here, because I am coming late. Yeah, that's yeah, I am coming late. Yeah, so follow the instruction. Don't be danganyoring. Have you heard that?
Maria, welcome.
Yep,
Welcome.
good evening, my sisters. They always say better late than never, right? Yeah, so I'm late, I'm sorry. But don't worry. Don't worry about my condition. It's just life. I know most of you are wondering where is this coming from. But that is life. That is life. So I have one or two things that I can talk about, since most of you, when I pass my eyes when we are young ladies and we are still growing, we have long way to go, right? And for you to see us coming here, living what we were doing, like me, living what I was doing in this, what made me to be in this condition without even caring, taking any shower. I be like, okay, let me not be too late. Let me go to see our gods. I have 1, 2, 3 to share with you, right? The first is we following the advices that we were getting from our doctor, you know. The second thing, I want to start the point that my fellow YouTuber said about our background, that most of most of the times it makes us drop out of the school, or maybe it causes, it leads us to early pregnancy, or maybe something like that. You know, always in life we should try as much as we can to avoid excuses. You know, yes, you can grow up in an unstable background of which they can't be able to take you to school, but remember, those are your parents. they are finishing up their journey. But you are growing, you know. You still have a long way to go, you know. So let it be not be an excuse like my parents didn't manage to pay for me school fees, and that is why, and that reason I should look for a man to give me a few hundreds so that I can go and buy something or maybe no, there is always life after that. Let us even try to find any otherwise, even if we can't be supported by maybe family members or maybe something, let us try. Obvious, there is many ways in life. You can try, you know, you can try, and obvious you'll get one which will lead you at least to your dream life, right? So those are what I had at the moment. Bye. Thank you for listening.
She's called. You have you spoken about your name?
Sorry. I'm Maria Kidi.
You have a song maybe you can sing for me. Or you never planned about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Maybe I can do it next time.
Next time.
Yes, I'm an artist, but
Yeah, he's an artist.
yes,
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much for your session, and God bless you.
welcome.
Good words here. Fantastic. So, guys, I think it has been a good session. We are coming out from this position, and I think the guys have got much of the encouragement from the nurse here, and also we have the fellow YouTubers, and also we have Queen Yaboanse. And me, part of the program, I was having a little bit of a little lecture because these things, I have to leave for the legends to talk about them. I'm dwarfism in terms of the ladies, so I had to leave for the person who is more eligible to talk about this kind of the thing. But other things are gonna be very perfect about them. So everything is so good, and we're gonna be now discussing much of the sanitary parts. And I thank for everyone who has just arrived onto this session. Mukopoa, eh? Wagwan. So gonna be now allowing our mom. She's there. She's gonna be now making sure that she's controlling the line, and we can have two lines here, and we have our fellow YouTubers that are here, and they're gonna be dispersing the sanitary pads to you. Everyone will be getting 3 packets, and I think it's gonna be helping you. Maybe how can it work whenever we have we have the heavy bleeders and we have the lighter ones.
Okay, the way it can help us, maybe it depends on how often you change the pad. As I said, or as I can remember, what I said earlier, that you find others who can experience more and those who can't. So in some cases, these pads can help us to determine the kind of menses that we experience. We have those who run for 3 or 4 days. We have those who run for 3 days, and the 3 packets can help us in a great extent.
Fantastic. I think next time, whenever we see that things wanna be good, I wanna be making sure that I'm adding the package so as everybody can get 4 or 5. So next time we're gonna be arranging and make sure that before you open up the school, I might be coming back to this area and to make sure that you got something, and we're gonna be even getting much of the lecture from one of you here talking about, oh, last time you came here and you helped us much, and we're gonna be very, very thankful for everyone. So we're going to be starting up the progress of, you can just line up, so everyone can just line up 2 lanes to make sure that we are now discussing the sanitary pads. Hey, Maria Kide and, well,